Howdo, and welcome back to the channel that absolutely everybody isn't talking about. It's Wacky Wednesday, and I am your general host, Mr. Jones. Welcome.
Shut up and sit down.
Now, today's subject is old channel favourite Mr. Howard George Stirrup. I've mentioned him before. I've done a couple of videos on him before. And the reason why I'm prompted to do this video is because he replied to a comment of mine, which I left on this video.
Most of us, I heard about it, I shrugged it off, laughed about it for a month or two, and then I ended up sitting down in the mood and watching 200 Proofs and a few other movies, and I was pretty convinced within the first 5 proofs that they were onto something, and the more I looked into it, the more I was certain that we're being lied to.
You became brainwashed after the first 5 proofs of Eric Dubé's bullcrap bloody video that's already been debunked by people far cleverer than me, far more intelligent than me, and far more exciting than me. So there you go, indoctrinated after 5 proofs. And you're convinced that you're being lied to by the mythical they. Ooh, crikey. So, after watching that video, because Mr. Stirrup here doesn't believe in secondary information, he says we shouldn't believe second-hand information, yet he lives in Benidorm, so he flew to Benidorm in a plane that he didn't fly himself. He lives in a house that he didn't build himself, so he believes in secondary information, and he also drives a car that he had to learn to drive from somebody else believing secondary information. What a hypocrite. So that prompted me to leave this comment on the video. Do your own thing, do your own experiments, don't believe secondary information. You became brainwashed after 5 minutes of somebody else's video. You're a hypocrite. Now, Mr. Stirrup, not being one to let things lie, he replied with this little gem. You are contradicting yourself in the same sentence. Why not compare evidence from your experiment instead of preaching your beliefs, pal? Well, number one, I'm not your pal, and I never will be your pal. You seem utterly brainwashed and devoid of any social skills whatsoever. Where did I contradict myself in that sentence? I didn't, did I? And I'm not preaching any beliefs, because I didn't say anything. I just said you're a hypocrite, and that's all I said. So what's the problem with that? So I replied with this little gem. Yes, Howard George Stirrup, how have I contradicted myself? I'm not preaching beliefs. You are. There you go. Because you are claiming, you are claiming that we are being lied to. The burden of proof lies with you, pal. He's not going to be my friend, is he? Well, I've got enough friends. Thank you very much. So, he replied back with this one. Howard George Stirrup, how have I contradicted myself? I am not preaching beliefs. You are. You are claiming we are being lied to. The burden of proof lies with you, pal. So that was my response, and then I did another little comment, which was this one. Yes, I left him this comment. Howard George Stirrup, tell you what, show some actual physical evidence of a flat Earth. Give us something we don't have a feasible explanation for. That which can't be explained with evidence can be dismissed. That which can be, I meant to say that which can't, because it's Hitchens' razor, isn't it? That which can't be explained, or you're trying to explain something without evidence, and so it can be dismissed without evidence. So that's what I put. I think he came back with another. Yeah, he said did that years ago, and since then I'm asking for others to compare results from their personal experience, not uninformed assumptions, pal. And he points me to this video, which we're going to have a look at in a minute. It's only a minute long, but we're going to have a look at it anyway. Now, and then I replied back with this little gem. Howard George Stirrup, you haven't done anything, no video of your moonlight chilling water, and you tell us not to include radiative cooling. I said, why? Why do the experiment only in the waning phase? I said, you need something to compare your results to, so why not do it in other phases? Why not do it when there isn't a moon? We both know why, because you would get the same results. You've seen streetlights from apparently 20 miles away. If you were 20 miles away, what was the height above sea level of the streetlights? I said, funny you don't mention that in your video. I said, zodiacs have changed over 3,000 years because I'm now, instead of an Aquarius, I am now apparently a Capricorn. I said, you look at planets and stars through a camera. Why not look at them through a telescope? Camera lenses and telescope lenses are different, which they are. A tiny, quick 5-minute search on Google told me that. I said, your video debunked, and all I did was a bit of research. Yes, I did. Something your video sadly lacks in. And don't come back to me with, you need to do your own observations and experiments. Because you've done nothing apart from take a video with the wrong equipment and a video of a beach with no measurements, no refractive index, etc., etc., etc. So, we are going to take a look at this video, and let's do that now, shall we?
My favourite experiment is verifying if moonlight chills during the waning phase, which is 1 week within
the waning phase.
Moon. You can simply use a glass of water and a thermometer, or you can compare wet and snow surface temperatures. A dry surface is a negative control, and avoid other misreading.
A dry surface is a negative control. What he's trying to say is that during the waning phase of the moon is that it only chills water. It doesn't chill anything else. He thinks that the moonlight gives off its own light, but he can't explain why the craters give off shadows, and he can't explain why it only chills water. And he tells us not to believe that radiative cooling is a thing, which to me just smacks of fudging and fixing things, you know, just to suit his narrative. That's what he's doing here. He's a con man.
Like radiative cooling by comparing the moonlight to uncharted
Whoa. He tells us not to believe second-hand information and secondary information and to do our own observations and do our own experiments. I can't see his video where he tests glasses of water and takes the temperature during the waning phase. A guy called FTFE, stands for Flight of the Flat Earth, challenged him to do the glasses. There's the two glasses experiment, one in the shade, one in the moonlight. Leave them outside 30 minutes and see which one's cooler. But FTFE said, you know, we'll do it on every single day of the month, and then compare your results. Which is what I said in my previous comment. Why not do it on every day of the month? I don't know if he's got back to me yet. I can't even be bothered to check, to be honest. And of course he turned it down. Whether FTFE has done this, I don't know. I hope he has, just to prove him wrong and just to get rid of this con man off the YouTube once and for all. But anyway, my point was, don't believe secondary information, don't believe second-hand information. And he's quoting the Bible, which is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th, 100th, 1000th, you know, 1,000 times over information there, isn't it? Because it's all been, you know, it's been converted from language to language to language, and it's been passed down from generations to generations. So obviously it changes over time, and you know, what a prat.
Areas and manipulate the effect even more with a magnifying glass to confirm the independent variable. Here I am.
Why would you get a magnifying glass to make it warmer or chill it or whatever? I don't get you. Why not just leave them both outside, measure the temperature, you know, 30 minutes later, and do it that way? Here we go.
Benidorm Beach, looking at the streetlights of San Juan beachfront 20 miles away at water level, making this reproducible observation irrefutable evidence that we're being lied to about the dimensions of where we live. The zodiac hasn't...
No, because you're not counting refraction, you see, because the temperature of the water. Depends what the temperature of the water is, but she hasn't taken into account that. She's taken into account any refractive index, which is what that is. He's just looking at a beach 20 miles away. You see, the refractive... edit that out later. Because of the temperature of the water, when you're shining something over at water level, or even just a bit higher, the temperature of the water can make things in the distance seem higher than what they actually are. But of course, he doesn't believe that because we're being lied to.
Suffered any disfiguration over thousands of years, the images and definitions that we're taught to believe in contradict what we observe ourselves. Scientific apparatus.
No, it doesn't. Because the zodiacs have changed. Need to update this video, matey. Sorry, pal. Make a video, stars and planets, and then play it back in slow speed to see beautiful geometric patterns without distortion. That looks pretty distorted to me.
That we should trust our eyes and use our common sense. The twinkles
Trust
of
our
visual
eyes and use our common sense. So if I drive down a long road, the sun's beaming down, it's a beautiful summer's day, and I see water in the distance, or what looks like a puddle in the distance. Is it a puddle? Should I trust my eyes? No, I shouldn't. Your senses are crap. Please don't trust them. Especially sight and hearing and smell.
Frequencies like cymatic patterns. My favourite experiment is verifying.
So that was the end of the. Because it's gone on loop apparently. Yeah. So that last one, what he's doing is he's taking a video through a camera of a planet. I urge him, if you do watch this video, which I don't care if you do or you don't, Mr. Stirrup, if you do watch this video, I urge you to buy a telescope. Then you would see the planets in their true form. What you are doing, you are deliberately misleading people to suit your narrative. Stop it, Mr. Weirdbeard, because it's not good. It isn't good at all. You've got absolutely no evidence whatsoever of the things that you claim, basically. None. Even your conspiracies, you haven't got any evidence whatsoever. Not many conspiracy theories turn out to be true. Some do. First one, MK Ultra, yeah. Some conspiracies do. Some governments lie to us all the time. That's just a way of life, unfortunately, because humans do lie, including you. Now, that's that bit done. Thank you very much for joining me. Join me on the next Wacky Wednesday. I'm not sure what is going to be on, but I can assure you it will be some nut job, like this gentleman here. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe and do all the things that you need to do. Look out for Top 5 Thursday tomorrow. I'm not sure what it's going to be on yet. I think it might be on sitcoms. I don't know, because I did favourite movies last time. Anyway, that's all by the by. The only thing left for me to do now is say, as we say in Bolton, toodle pip.